Hey, welcome into our monthly update. Look, we're in the middle of July. Summer is upon us. We went through the spring that was probably the coolest spring I can remember to the heat dome of summer. Hey, my name is Jim Martin. I'm joined by Justin Swisher and Sam Benson. Gentlemen, welcome in today and thank you for being here. We are all financial advisors with Martin Wealth Solutions, and we're here to talk about the market, ideas for you to get better at your finances, and just share a little bit about what's happening in our business. Sam, without further ado, how are the markets doing so far this year? How'd they do last month?
Yeah, so last month market gains were positive, and that's across all three major indexes: the Nasdaq, the Dow Jones, and the S&P. And that's a trend that's continued since the beginning of the year. I think the markets have finally adjusted to inflation and some of the world events. So we're seeing some positive gains. We like that. We're looking at what the market's going to do as we cross the mid-year point. Justin, what are the markets looking for right now?
Yeah, there's been a couple of reports that we need to touch base on regarding inflation. Inflation tends to, or is continuing to trend down. It's came out at 4% this last time. So that's a lot lower than it has been recently, but is still a little higher than history. Also, the Federal Reserve has paused interest rate hikes for now. But Jim, how do you think that's going to affect the market over the next couple of months?
Well, I think it's a good thing, right? Like we all wanted interest rates to get paused, but let's be honest, 4% inflation is still high. I mean, if we look historically at inflation, that's running pretty hot by about 1.5 over historical numbers. So we're likely, if the economy does not continue to slow down a little bit, we're likely to see some more rate hikes. And let's be honest, this is a good thing. None of us want inflation running at 4% long term. But, with the markets recovering the way they have, this is a really good time to kind of underline where you're at. It's this shows you the value of long-term investing, not to get stuck in this rut of it's a bad market, and really focus on, hey, investing is a long-term endeavor, and these things work. And also it's a great opportunity. Look, if you're in a situation where you need to adjust your risk and make changes, I think this is a pretty good time to do it. Markets are higher today than they were in January. So there's a really good opportunity, I think, out there. But with that said, remember, investing is a long-term endeavor. I don't think any investor should kind of get caught up in the news of the day or the news of the month, but we should take a look at the opportunities that exist. And there's some real opportunities out there. As we kind of transition into the next part of the podcast, let's talk about summer a little bit because, guys, it's the middle of summer. Kids are going to be going back to school in less than a month, which is, I know their parents are crying about that or maybe really happy. With that said, Justin, how's your summer going?
Oh, my summer's going great, Jim. I'm just trying to enjoy the weather, trying to stay cool. It's been pretty hot out there, play some golf, and prepare for my upcoming CFP testing that's on the horizon.
It's awesome. And Sam, how about you? How about you and your family? How are you guys doing?
It's been a good summer for us. My daughter's enjoying time at the pool and doing some of the summertime stuff she likes. We've had her doing some horse riding, and my wife Kristen and I have been doing some home improvement projects around the house. Otherwise, a pretty quiet summer. Got a trip coming up here in a couple of weeks I'm excited about.
And this is a bucket list trip, right?
It is, yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm going to be going to Ireland to attend a friend's wedding. And I actually took advantage of your advice from earlier in the year about the Iceland air ticket pricing. So I'm going over to Ireland for about 6 or 7 days. And I am super excited about it. Still putting the last few pieces of finishing touches on getting all that organized for the trip. There's a lot to international travel.
There is indeed. Yeah, we went to Iceland. And by the way, again, you can go to Iceland fairly inexpensively if you fly out of Dulles. Or Baltimore, and you can. It's Iceland was, by the way, spectacular for anybody who's considering it. But without skipping a beat here, let's get into financial tip because that's what we're all about here is making sure that you're planning well and retiring happy. And open enrollment season is going to be upon us before you know it. And open enrollment is for people on Medicare, whether you're rapidly approaching the age 65 or you're already there and already have a Medicare plan. It's a really good opportunity in October to review where you're at and make sure that you're in the right plan. Now, here's the great news. On our team, we have a health and wellness specialist. that will sit down with you and help you review your plan. Make sure you're in the right prescription drug plan. Make sure you're in the right advantage plan, or make sure you're in the right supplemental plan. So give us a call if you have any questions about that, or you want to review your plan. In fact, we'll put our phone number and the information in the notes below, where you can look at that. But don't miss this opportunity to potentially find a better and less expensive plan if there's one out there for you. As we kind of wrap up today, we like to finish with some good things, and we love to finish with bucket list items. And Sam has put together, I think, one of just the coolest bucket list items I can think of. Sam, we're going to put this on the screen. What the heck are we looking at here?
Yeah, so this is the Rocky Mountaineer. I have, since I was 7 years old, my dad took me on a train to Chicago from Jackson, where we lived. And ever since then, I've had this just romantic fascination with train travel. I've been fortunate to be able to do it a number of times over the years. You meet really, really cool people. A lot of people don't realize that the food on trains is fantastic. So this is a luxury train ride. They run across the Canadian Rockies, and there's also one that runs from Chicago to the West Coast, I believe, to San Francisco. It's a multi-overnight train ride. It is a fantastic experience. You can look it up under Rocky Mountaineer on YouTube. And it's scenery like you won't get anywhere else, traveling in a way that you just almost never get to as an individual. So this is something I was actually thinking about doing for my family, giving my daughter and my wife that experience as we look forward to next year. And it's pretty reasonably priced. So yeah, that's the Rocky Mountaineer.
Yeah, and I can attest to that. Last year we took, I think it was called the Empire Builder. It's an Amtrak train, leaves out of Chicago, goes all the way to Seattle, but we got off in Whitefish, Montana, right at the base of Glacier National Park. And it's just spectacular. And it's just such a cool way to travel. My kids still bring it up as their favorite vacation of all time. So I hope that was interesting to you guys. Take a look at the Rocky Mountaineer. If you want to learn more about it, just Google that. We are not travel agents, but we do like to travel and share things our clients have done. Hey, we want to appreciate or thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. We'll be back next month. Remember, plan well and retire happy.